can be undocumented. But some immigrants can be documented and so we find that the plight of refugees are so great, especially in the country. Now, the country that takes in the most refugees, that's a prize for the end of the year. Who knows the country that takes in the most refugees in the world? No, going back. It's a place where the phrase, all right, now you children know it, the young people. It's a place where the people were called Christians for the first. What country is that? Yeah, come on now. You see, Turkey takes in most refugees in all the world. And most of them come from Syria and those places. The places where people are displaced more are in African continent and they are in Syria and the Middle Eastern continent. Those are where the people, Sudan and all those places. All those people are displaced. The Ukraine is probably the second most displaced country right now. So the point is that we have a responsibility to look after the needy. We have a responsibility to look after the widows and orphans, the refugees. That's the examples in the Bible are so great. And
circumstances can happen.
So when we think of refugees, there are a lot of refugees around us here. I remember there was a girl, a young lady, she came to our, what was the thing we had? Fun Fest. She was from Ukraine. And she was looking to find a place where she could study English as a second language. But the church is offering that.
Yeah, I think the overall picture that we need to consider from the rest is that all of us have come to know
Okay, last one.
do the best we can.
I'm gonna have
Sharing
just
whatever
a
we
few more
have.
questions here. What are
That's
some
the
of the
best,
hard
yeah.
feelings
That's
you
like the
have in
summer.
your heart about people
Do the
who are
best you
different
can.
from us?
And it doesn't have to be in, sometimes some of us are not in the corporate arena. Some of us have to do it in our little corner. But we have to try for a corner. Now, I work a lot with people who have disabilities and people who are users of drugs and so on. I encountered them. I had one friend. This is a real story. His name is Dylan. He was over the other church where we were, and he caused havoc on the church. Because out of the church, he was dealing with heroin and those things. He was selling it out of the congregational church, out behind the pantry. And it nearly caused the whole church. It caused kind of destruction of the church.
Part of our discussion
And
should be in our households, in our
it's
communities,
like
in our churches, and in our schools.
many people were against
Is do not
even
perpetuate
offering help to them. And I said, Pastor always prick my conscience sometimes. When he preaches, he said, you cannot choose
And unfortunately,
who
a
help.
lot of people aren't educated.
If God puts on your heart to help somebody, whether you think that person is deserving or not, you have to help.
We tend to
And so this fellow
look
did.
at
It's
our
a good
celebrities
story.
as powerful.
And I saw Dylan a couple months ago
My
from a
call.
distance. A different person, you know, when they're on drugs, Pastor Doctor will tell you, they're skinny,
Everyone's
they're
versus.
gaunt,
Everyone
their face are all drawn in line, and so on. I saw him like a well muscular person and well built, and so he saw me from afar and he shouted, "No, here you are!" And he ran and he embraced me. He's now
we are talented people.
sober home up in
We
Grenada
are
Hills.
innovative.
He was incarcerated, and I think incarceration was not did justice. No, many people would say to us, don't help him, why are you helping him? He's just going to take money and
And serve
he's going to do this. I cannot consider the motive
Why are we
of the
still
needy.
serving?
We cannot consider the motive. If a man begs you for a $10, now they don't say, well, a man will say $1. I am not the one to say, what's your motive? What you going to use it for? All right, we have to get a receipt of what you. No, if God presses on your heart, give to somebody.
We
All right. Anything else before we close? Yes, Mr. Grimmie.
Over to homeless.
Yes.
If somebody needs help from the homeless and I ignored them. Sometimes that's our attitude, my attitude. I said, oh, you have to find a job. I said, but I have a money to give them. But I ignored them. I don't give it. Because I don't give it's a sin. Because I ignored them. If somebody needs help.
No, nobody's judging anybody. And with the point I'm making is that when you see the plight of the needy, I think that was what the summary of it said. You have to allow the Holy Spirit to impress upon your heart to do something if it's so. If you don't get that impression, well, that's not it. But one cannot say you are doing sin. It's just that, but our response is that we are not a judge of others. So I can't judge you if it's a sin for you, but then I cannot judge the person who is begging. So that's the summary. Let us close in prayer. We're going to ask Brother Toto, since he came in at the last, to close in prayer for us.
Brother Toto, pray. Thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you for being with us as we celebrate your Sabbath, brothers and sisters. Be with those who are still on the way. Thank you for the blessing of fellowship and the blessing of your Sabbath. Forgive us from our sins.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Good morning, church. Please be seated. Okay, it's time for our Adventist community services. I would like to welcome our visitors, and we hope to see you again soon. Our lesson study this week is mission to my neighbor. The second greatest commandment is to love your neighbor as yourself. Who is our neighbor? Well, everybody who is hurt, anyone who is in need, besides the family who lives next door. And we can summarize the 10 commandments in one word: love. So, for the past 7 days, is there anybody who provide food to the needy, clothing, or blanket, or bedding, or furnitures, or anybody who came for the elderly, help the elderly clean their backyards, or we have volunteers because we have feeding the homeless last Sunday, so we have 11 volunteers. Pastor, how many hours do we spend? 2.5 per person or 2-3?
Yeah, we gave back almost 9 episodes.
It starts 6:30.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anybody distributed any literature or do Bible study? Clothing? Anybody provide clothing to the needy? Blanket, furnitures, or bedding? Elmo? Okay. I will talk to you later. All right. Thank you so much, and we'll have a 5-minute break. Thank you. Happy Sabbath.